They're still having a go with me about Twitter. Pack it in. Welcome back to Monday's show with Scott Capurro, Nadia Swallow and Sarah Kaywood, who's on at the Albert Hall tonight with her kazoo. Kazoo? Excuse my diction. Seriously, Scott, excuse it. Still to come this morning, can Blue win Eurovision? The BBC has given them a song that might just win on the night. Who cares? If you didn't get to vote for it, maybe that's the key. Can Blue come through? 0207 173 5555 is the number you need. But first, can love last if you don't speak the same language as your lover? Jordan's latest, Argentinian model Leandro Pena, can't speak much English, and neither can she.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about. But her Spanish ain't much cop either, I'm told. But then she's not with him for his mind, that's what she said. The Bond girl, Gemma Arterton, she had similar... This is a great story. Do you know this story? She had similar problems when she fell for Spanish stuntman Eduardo Munoz. The couple had to take a translator with them everywhere they went. Small wonder they split after 6 long months. However, it can work out. Sean Connery recently admitted that he can still hardly speak a word of French, but what should be a handicap, he said, is actually a godsend, as he can't understand Mrs Connery when she's having a Barney. Mrs Connery, French, met in North Africa on a golf course, if I remember right, and I think they've been married 36 years, and he still can't speak French. Unbelievable. Nadia, can it work?
No. I've got a friend, actually, that's moved a Russian lover in about 3 months ago, and it has made me question everything about... I really hope she's at work. Because I'm pretending I'm all right with it. It's made me question everything about her. I mean, he's a hot
she's a spy.
prop in the room.
Oh, no, so it's a male lover?
Yes.
OK.
He's just... I mean, you know, how can I respect anything she says about anything anymore?
But
no.
he can't
One night
speak
of passion,
any English at
2
all?
maybe in a row, but no more.
And he can't speak...
Well, a few words.
So what do they do?
Yeah, what does he do for a living?
The language of love.
What do they do after they've done the do?
You know, they're in that first flush where you're all right, just staring into each other's eyes and boiling up a spaghetti together.
It'll never last. It'll never last.
But, you know, I mean, how ridiculous. And I think that the problem with it is that nobody invites her anywhere anymore because it is so embarrassing. It's cringe-making. You know, and she flits around him and tries to...
You're so jealous of her, right? You're horrible. You love him. You love him. You want him. You do. I can tell.
Honestly, it makes me feel physically sick.
Yeah, that's hot.
Because it means you jump.
You're a dark soul, Scott. Do you think it can work or
My
not?
boyfriend's Brazilian. Hello. And, yeah, he's... And,
how's your Portuguese?
He speaks Brazilian or whatever he speaks.
Portuguese.
Thank you. I don't listen. And, but I'll hear him in... we had a spider in the bedroom last night. That's not a euphemism. We had a spider. And, I could just hear him last night going, Capurro, spider, Capurro, spider. So I knew exactly what he meant. I went in, I captured the spider, brought it outside, and then, you know, he and I had great wild spider love for about a half hour because he's Portuguese and, you know, anything gets him going.
But he can speak English.
Ish. The thing is...
Really?
Yeah, who cares? Look, I have friends to talk with, and the English do go on and on, so they fill the time.
So how long have you been together?
3 years. And my friends are embarrassed by him sometimes, and they've told me that they think he ruins my brand. But all I think is he's nice to me, and he's really sweet, and he's really generous.
You're an intelligent man, Scott. I'm not buying that you guys... I think he speaks better English than you're letting on. I think he does.
I've trained him. It's gotten better. But when we first met, really, it wasn't
Are you not learning any Portuguese at all?
No, I don't care about that. No.
Sarah,
it's a really difficult language.
Have you ever been in this situation?
I think, you know, it's funny because I wonder if Leandro, Katie Price's new boyfriend, if he did learn English, how much longer would he stick around? Ooh, the live on here, I'm off. I think if you want something long term, you're going to have to learn the language. Because for me, it's my attraction to somebody is based on you know, us loving the same things, agreeing on the same things, or not agreeing on other things. It's verbal sparring, laughing. That's the same humour.
As a teenager going to Spain, and the code for chatting somebody up would be, have you got a light for a cigarette? As everybody smoked, I don't recommend it, kids, it's an evil thing to do. And of course you'd say, I had my lighter, I didn't even smoke at the time, and I'd go around and I had a lighter, and they said, whatever it is, fuego, and I'd light it. and then couldn't think of another thing to say. Couldn't think of another word. Just, consequently, never so much as got a snog in Spain. I used to go every summer.
You're really attracted to someone, and there was that spark, you know, this undeniable sexual chemistry, and you want that to carry on, then I presume then you start learning
You have to start learning. You have to start learning. Let's find out what you think. Kirsty?
OK, we have Tracy first on line 1.
Tracy, good morning.
Hi, Matthew.
Hi there. Can it work?
Yes.
Go on, tell us about it.
Well, my husband came over as an asylum seeker 12 years ago.
Right.
I worked in
whereabouts?
a fruit and veg shop.
OK.
And he could not speak a word of English, neither could his 2 friends who he was with.
Right.
And we managed to get past that.
How?
A dictionary, a Croat-English dictionary, which he looked up the words and I looked up the words. And against what Nadia says, a language of love, I suppose. OK, and how is, just out of interest, because I'm fascinated as whether both parties learn the other one's language, or whether it's like the Connerys, Sean Connery, it's just a one-way street. How's your Croat? Well, Serbian he is, but
OK.
It's a bit pidgin Serbian. But I do understand quite a bit.
OK, OK, good for you, good for you. And how long have you been together again? 12 years, is it?
Been together 12 years, we've been married for 11.
That
So
is
was it literally
amazing.
years, Tracy, before you had a proper conversation?
No, not really, because once he started work, and obviously working in factories and things, they do pick up the odd, should I say, not very tasteful words.
Yes, I would imagine. Look at the pair on that. Yes. Beautiful buttons, I was thinking of. It's a shirt-making factory, just a thought. Tracy, thank you, good luck. Steve, let's have
OK, we have
another.
Sophie on line 3.
Sophie, good morning.
Good Monday morning.
Good Monday morning to you. Can it work, do you think? Does it matter if you can't speak the same language?
I think it does matter because I think communication is everything.
Right, but you don't have to communicate verbally.
But there's so many dimensions to a relationship. It's how you live and what your outlook is and your views to general life and family and things like that. So you have to be able to talk about it.
But,
Otherwise, you just have to have sex all the time.
Yeah.
OK, thank you for that, Sophie. So we've got 1-4-1 against. And Eric, I believe you have an interesting couple with you.
We do. We've got Elena and Tony. I understand you didn't speak English when you first met your husband, did
Well,
you?
I spoke very little English, but...
Whereabouts are you from?
Russia.
OK.
Yeah.
Are you a spy?
Yeah.
Just have to ask, you never know. OK, so and you didn't speak much English?
Not much. I was studying here, so I met him when I was living with a family.
How long ago was this?
12 years ago.
OK, because your English is fantastic,
thanks,
I have to
thanks.
say. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, we just got on with it and used dictionaries and drew pictures, you know, and things like that. It was fine.
But does that mean that the whole basis of the relationship at the beginning is how you see each other?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I mean...
Well, I just...
But then you communicate kindness without words, and I think you can gauge how somebody is as a person without hearing them speak the same language. I think
that's the fascinating
I really
thing.
do think you create intimacy in other ways too, by cooking with one another, by traveling together. You know, we can. He and I could watch a film together if it had subtitles, and you know, for him, not for me. But no, eventually we did build an intimacy that led to his wanting to learn more English. And led to me wanting to learn a few words in Portuguese, and then he built his vocabulary. But I think she's right. I think.
I wonder, and your other half, how's his Russian? How's your Russian?
No Russian.
I don't speak much Russian. I don't speak hardly any Russian. I've been very bad. I've actually been on a course a few years
you have
ago.
tried.
It's exceptionally difficult.
He didn't try. Amazing thing that women can nag in any language on the planet. True fact.
But I think if you've got one language, you don't... I mean, my father's Arabic. My mother and father have been happily married for the last 50 years. She doesn't speak a word of Arabic, but his English is excellent.
Does she not want to? Because I'd like to think that if I was in that situation, I would like to try and meet halfway and you learn a bit.
Well, actually, we're convinced she understands every single word.
Oh, it's just pretends she doesn't understand. And do you speak both Arabic and English?
No, I mean, we were mortified if my father ever spoke Arabic to us. You know, I think when we were much younger, we started, but then we were just so embarrassed.
Now, do you wish...
Be different.
When you wish you had?
Much. Oh, of course.
I bet.
I learned sign language for a guy I was dating who's deaf. I learned sign language for a while, but it was good because the deaf are very tactile, and so we communicated, you know, by touch for a long time.
OK, Scott, we'll take a break. Got through that one just in
Really
time.
romantic story.
I was going to bring up deaf people, but I thought it might be safer if I didn't. But there we go. We're going to talk about Blue after the break when we're asking if they can win Eurovision. 0207 173 5555 is the number for your views. The BBC bypassed the public vote and gifted them their Euro entry this year. I Can, it's called. I Can. Can they? Cynical Terry Nutley, he Facebooked to say, if Elton John did a song with Take That and had the Beatles on backing vocals, we still wouldn't win. And I suspect he may be right. Do you agree with him? That's Can Blue win Eurovision next. Yeah!